All right, good afternoon, people. Thank you once again for joining another Google Plus Hangout organized by Channels Beam for Channels Television. I'm Victor Matthias, and today we're going to be looking at the campaigns. It's just few days to the elections, and politicians have been going around the country canvassing for votes and trying to convince people that their policies are will be best suited for the country and, of course, the general populace. But then there have also been some arguments that these campaigns have not really been issue-based. But how true that is why we're here and why we're having this hangout, this discussion to find out. We'll begin, first of all, by introducing the guys we have on our hangout. We have from Oyo Town in Nigeria, we have our Tunde Ayodeji guy. Thank you for coming on the hangout. We also have Adiola Alade, who is calling from Krasnodar in Russia. Thank you for joining the hangout. And we also have Sonny Kiri, who is in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Thank you as well for joining the hangout. To begin this conversation, I'll come to you, our Tunde. I'll give you the benefit of doubt. You're here in Nigeria, so I'll give you the home advantage, as they say in football. How has it been? I mean, how would you say it has been for you so far? Our Tunde, can you hear me? Well, I think you can't hear me for now, but we'll move forward. Let me now come to you, Adiola.
Okay.
What's your take on this?
Well, my take is the campaigns have not been issue based at all. If you are looking at it from, let's start from the APC. When they first started campaigning, I feel they'll be talking about issues and what they have to offer the electorate. But until recently, I think that has changed. But for the ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, it hasn't been issue based at all. They have been accusing character of General Mahmoud Buhari. That's what I feel.
Sonny, I'm asking to hear your own version. What do you think? Adiola just gave his own perception of what he thinks has been going on, but what's your own summation of what has been going on?
Actually, I'm not in Nigeria for the for now, but I can see a lot of write-up from different online media and also your channels, TV as well. I can see that both parties are trying to accuse one another of what they have not done and what they are going to do and stuff like that. And I think as a political parties, they should try to come up with their manifestos instead of trying to call one another names and all that. If we want to uh, see some democratical way of doing campaign and elections, it's all about trying to present what you can do and what that other party will not do and things like that. That is what I was expecting from both parties, but both parties are trying to call one another names and all that. So I don't know if if they are going to come up with more of a manifesto and things they are going to do. I wait for them to see that, but I think the time for election is uh, is approaching. So I was expecting them to come up with some way of telling Nigerians what they want to do, but I think what I've been seeing is both parties are trying to accuse each other. You lack this, you done this, that's what I'm seeing so far. I haven't seen anything that really impressed me from both parties concerning when you talk of election manifestos. They have not impressed me as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
All right, Sonny. Let me come back to you, Adiola. Sonny has gone ahead to but then to bring me down or the pull down syndrome like typical of the Nigerian political society.
So I can hear you well.
You can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, okay. Go
All
on.
right. So, like I was saying, to pull me down or to bring one down syndrome is like typical with the Nigeria political society, do you think we are yet to grow beyond that, or we are just deciding to live in this pull-me-down
Hello.
system kind of politics?
Can you come again, please? I didn't fully understand the question.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can.
All right, so Sonny has gone ahead to even talk about his expectations from these politicians as the elections draws near. But people also argue that probably our culture is yet to develop, that our political culture is yet to develop to that level at which the pull me down issue will not be brought into play, but you know, instead of talking about issue being you think personality smear is far better. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree that our political culture has not gotten to the extent where we all expect it to be. Different political parties are just castigating others. I strongly agree with what Sonny said. I strongly agree with that. They have only be castigating each other. It hasn't been really issue based. You find them campaigning against the character of other contestants, which should not be. They should be telling us, for God's sake, what they have to offer Nigerians, how they will develop our economy, how they plan to give us good infrastructures. That is what they should be telling us, not campaigning the way it shouldn't be done. But I feel this election is just the beginning. I'm very sure in subsequent elections it will get better. People are more aware of their rights and the way things should be done. That's what I have to say for now.
Yeah, all right, very well. Then just before we move forward, Samuel Bright just joined us. Samuel, if you can hear me, good afternoon and thank you for joining the Hangout.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon.
Oh, all right, great. Thank you for joining the Hangout.
Yes.
So just to moving forward, I mean, what do you think about the Nigerian politicians, I mean, political campaign that has been going on? It's just a few weeks to the elections, and I mean, it's more like a very crucial period. What is your assessment of what has been going on?
Okay, quickly, we've seen both the major parties actually in the elections. I mean, in the power play uh, toss that we have. Of course, that's the PDP and APC. Been following their campaigns all through, and one thing seemed to reverberate all through their campaigns. My view basically is that what we have seen is how do I put it now? One party trying to win the votes of the people, not really um, facing the issues in fact, what they are trying to do is that they are not really after what the people or what people actually feel. I mean, what the people's what people go through, what the issues, the real issues are. For instance, I mean, I was listening to Asiwaju yesterday when they had their campaign in Lagos, and I mean, it was still again going back to attacking Jonathan, going back to attacking trying to reply what the PDP people have been saying all the while. But I think in the whole of their campaigns, they will not really address issues. They will not really address how will an APC government, for instance, tackle the issue of education. How will the APC government, for instance, tackle the issue of health? How will we not come back again to having strikes upon strikes from from the doctors and the recently the Joasu guys and all that? How will those things? In fact, they're not giving us practical steps on how these things will be tackled. So my own view generally of what has been happening with the campaign so far is that what we are seeing is one party trying to get or win the hearts of the populace or the voters, but not really, giving us practical ways by which they can or will tackle real issues, like I've mentioned, when they get to power.
Okay, Samuel, just before I let you, before I let you go and come back to you later, where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Ikeja.
Oh, Ikeja in Lagos. All right, very well. Then I'll come back to you again. Just moving forward, Sulaiman Adabu also just joined us. Sulaiman, good afternoon, and once again, good afternoon for coming on the program. Sulaiman. Sulaiman, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sulaiman? Hello? Okay, I can't hear you, Sulaiman. I still can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
All right, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me? I can hear you now. All right, I think Sulaiman has issues with his audio. We'll have to wait and come back to him later on in the show. Sonny, let me come to you now. What do you think about the debates? I mean, there's so much going on. People want to see these candidates come out and debate, but it's yet to happen. What's your take on that? Sonny.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Sonny. I said, what do you think about the debates?
The debate, the issue of the debate?
Yeah, I mean, because from all you people have said, they haven't tackled the real issue during their campaign. Do you think the debate would be a better place to address this issue?
Oh, I can't hear you clearly. Please, can you repeat the question back?
Okay, I'm like, if going by what all of you have said, they haven't tackled the issues, right? Right?
Yeah.
All right. So, what other platforms do you think having a debate will be a good platform for these politicians to reel down their manifestos to the general populace?
Yeah, that is a good way to present to the general public of Nigeria that these two parties have what it takes to rule Nigeria. A debate would be a good idea, but I heard, I think 2 days back, that one of the political party, that is that of the APC, their candidate pulled out of the debate. So I think that would be a good way to present to the people that these are what we have to offer. It will be good to see both candidates contesting for the election to come out with their manifesto and in an open debate to tell the public that this is what we want to do, this and this area we want to. This is how we tackle corruption. And party A say, if you want to tackle corruption in this way, this is how I think I will do it. As we see in the US. So it's interesting. If you said you want to rule Nigeria, Nigeria is not just a community whereby someone will just come out to form a group of people that you are contesting for election. If you want to be a president of a country like Nigeria, at least they should do the right way of how things are done in other democratic nations. I think debate will be a good idea, whereby people will be asking the aspirant different questions about what they read so far and what he or she has done and what he has not done. So I think if they can present themselves in an open debate whereby people can ask them questions, that will be a better way. Like if they can even do it whereby it will be on social media like this, whereby a lot of people can ask them questions from around the world and all that. That will be a good idea of telling people what they want to do than trying to castigate one another from one campaign to another. That is not a good way of trying to contest for an election. They should try to come up to the entire public and read out their manifesto in an open debate. So if we can do all these kind of things, then you'll be seeing people trying to pull out of all this political office, because people see it as a way of making business. That's why you see a lot of people coming into the system. But if we can do things like intellectual capability and trying to demonstrate what you can have or what you can offer the public, then you will see a lot of changes in the system. So I would like to see an open debate. Thank you.
All right, very well, Sonny. Just before I move forward, Adela, you always unmute your mic, please. And there's this hum that comes out from your mic. So just please hold on. When it's your turn, I'll unmute it from here, and I'll give you the opportunity to speak. But now, before we continue, let me come to you, Suleiman, once again. We've been trying to reach you earlier. I think we had problems with your audio. I don't know how good it is now, but let's just hear from you. Good afternoon. Okay. I still can't hear you. Can you unmute your mic from your end?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, hello. I can hear you now, Suleiman.
How are you?
All right, so there's just been so much going on before you came on the Hangout and even after you came on the Hangout. First of all, we're looking at what the campaigns have been like since it began. I mean, since party primaries ended and we knew who the flag bearers of various parties and positions are. They've been going around the country, some have been going around their states, some have been going around their constituencies. But how has it been? How issue-based have they been campaigning since they started their campaigns ahead of the elections that will be coming up in quite some few days from now?
Well, I think, I mean, Nigerians can clearly see the difference between APC and PDP.
So, Emma, you're breaking.
I'm breaking.
Oh,
can
yeah.
you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I mean, Nigerians can clearly see difference from the two political parties. I mean, APC campaign, to be honest with you, APC that is more personality issues.
Can you come again?
APC, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No. Okay, I said, what I said is, you can clearly see APC campaign is issued is they are presenting to Nigerians what they want to do and how are they going to solve the fundamental problems and challenges our nation face. While in the other hand, APC campaign is centered on the personality of APC presidential candidates. I mean, they are not presenting to Nigerians what they intend to do moving forward. Rather, they center on issues like Buhari didn't finish it, didn't have certificate, didn't finish his secondary school. I mean, they centered on Buhari's wife, issues, family. Mainly, they just centered on his personality rather than presenting a viable programs that will move Nigeria forward. And I'm not surprised about PDP campaign centered on personality of the APC presidential candidate because they were in power. They are in power for the last 16 years. That is not that they will use as an example that they need to move on with this. That's why they center on the personality of the APC presidential candidate. So, clear difference between the two parties from what I follow, from what I can see on the campaign trail.
Okay, well, you are now giving us a different view from what the other said, but just before I move forward, let me just ask you, what do you think about the debates? Sonny just said something now about having political debates, because earlier on they had all said the campaigns are not issue-based, and I was asking if the debates would be a good platform for the politicians, especially the presidential candidates, to reel out what they have in store for the populace if elected into office come February the 14th. What do you think about that?
Well, I think political debates are essential. They entrench the democratic principle within political parties and within our system because it gives the candidates opportunity to reel out their programs about what real programs to their party faithful and to the Nigerian electorate at large. And I think the debate shouldn't be only, debate should start from the party itself, during the primaries election. Political parties should create mechanisms that will give candidates within the party to debate and present their manifesto to their party faithfuls before they present them as candidates to aspire for general elections. And I think that will increase transparency and give voters more knowledge about the capability and capacity of different candidates from party to general election. And I think debate is essentially key. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You said it's essentially key.
Yeah, to governance, because the essence of democracy is openness, transparency, accountability, and so on and so on. If we have opportunity for debate, candidates will present their programs to Nigerians, and Nigerians can hold them accountable from what, if they are not able to deliver their promises on debate.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, great. Let me come to you, Samuel. Suleiman just said there's actually been a sense of issue-based campaign somehow. I mean, I'm sure you heard him while he was talking, but the other parts, what has been your own assessment? Because you are here in Lagos, and let me just say you are here in Nigeria, so you have like a higher hand with all others who are actually following from abroad. Would you agree with Suleiman's assertion that the APC has actually been having issue-based campaigns?
Well, I don't know what how you came about his own views and all that. I'm sure those in the diaspora will always have to follow news and all that. But those of us in Lagos and in Nigeria get to feel the impact of some of these campaigns. Are close to lots of APC faithfuls or PDP faithfuls and all that. Okay, so with what they've been doing, I don't think so. I don't really want to agree with Suleiman. Really, I mean, I followed the campaign train in Akure. I mean, it was live on TV, and it was same old, same thing that what's it called? Shaju was saying some of the campaign zones, for instance, when we were at Kwara, and when we also went to Akure, when he also came to Lagos, was the same thing he was also saying or repeating. I mean that he has been repeating. When I listened to Buhari speak at the Ekiti campaign, okay, I think he mentioned issues that are really troubling Nigeria for now. And I think he said corruption, and I can't really remember the other one, but I mentioned corruption as one of the being to the progress of Nigeria. And well, that was where he ended. He never went further to tell us, okay, this is how I'm going to tackle corruption. This is how I'm going to go about doing it. For instance, I think the Jonathan actually said something different when he was saying that how would we tackle corruption? I think he was making reference to what people have been saying, that he has not been able to pin anybody down. In the past 4 years he has been in power, 6 years he has been in power. He has not really arrested anybody for corruption, and he was saying that how will he arrest people? I mean, when he can actually set up structures that will naturally stop such corruption from taking place. Okay, so I mean that's for what Jonathan said, but basically on the whole, really, he has not really been issue-based, so to speak, because what I've been following all their campaigns, and what I've been seeing reoccurring all through is reactions to what a particular party has said. For instance, what PDP has said, APC reacts to it, or what APC has said, PDP reacts to it. It's been back and forth, back and forth. There has not really been any end of the political party addressing issues head on, telling us, okay, if I'm elected to power, or if my party is elected to power, if I'm elected to power, what I would do to education, for instance, is one. Then you align it. Then two. Nothing like that has been done. Okay, so I don't think, like I said earlier, what they've been doing is they are trying to win the hearts of the electorate by, tackling the opposition, the opposition, the competitive, the opposition party. Okay, just to try and get everybody emotional about the whole thing, but not really addressing issues. Like I said earlier on, for instance, what will the PDP, what will an APC party, for instance, when they come to power, do about education? What would they do about our lecturers that keep striking almost every year? What will be the solutions to issues that has to do with health? What will they do about politicians that have been caught? And what would we get to see somebody being put behind the bars and serving as a deterrent to others not to steal again, for instance? Or what would they do about government projects that have been left undone, and somebody has been, pinpointed as being responsible for not letting those projects come through? I mean, these are the things that we're supposed to be hearing from them. Not really blackmails, not really reactions to what each party has said or what this person has said, or who is older than who, or who should be leading, or should we have younger generation leading, or should we have old men leading? No. I mean, what should we have in their campaigns basically is tell us how you're going to solve issues. How will your government, when they come to power, solve issues? For instance, the power issue. What will be practical solutions? I mean, we have governments in the past that have given us promises upon promises, and nothing has been done about power. When your government comes to power, what exactly will you do, to solve power issues? I mean, that's well, I mean, these are the things that I'm supposed to be hearing from them.
Okay, very, very well. Then I'll get back to you, but first. Hi, Carol. Thank you for coming on the Hangout.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So a lot has been going on. Some are saying that, okay, in a way, it has been issue-based, as the campaigns has been issue-based, and some are saying in a way it hasn't been issue-based. But I don't know what you feel.
I think the campaign, in large respect, has been a shame and a disgrace to Nigeria as a whole. Only a bit of it's part of just a little bit has been issue-based, but mainly what you've seen in the media and what you've seen in front of newspapers is just shenanigans and absolute stupidity. And it's just taking Nigeria for granted, and the whole country. If I'm going to summarize this, it's a shame on the whole country, really, because we've seen people who even claim to be sons or claim to be senior advocates of Nigeria, ridiculing themselves and cannot differentiate between what is a certificate and what is a statement of results. And is this and what has been in the media, what has been in the news for the last 2 or 3 weeks is about someone's certificate and whether it's qualified or not. I mean, it's quite clear. Is this man qualified? Yes, he is. Why is he qualified? The Constitution says he is because Constitution says he's qualified. End of story. Let's move on. But then we see people who should have been banished to the hall of shame, driving the discourse and the narrative of this camp. Issues that should be going on, and like I said, some are focused on the real issues. And first of all, the primary responsibility of any government is to look after lives and the wealth of its citizens. And some have started saying, okay, yes, that they will first of all look at the insecurity in the Northeast, which should be the first priority for any government at all. Because if there is no security, there really isn't anything you can do. So some have said they will look after the insecurity, and we know for sure that corruption is the bane of development in Nigeria. If we can look after insecurity first of all, and then look after corruption, and then the economy obviously is part of it. And some have been talking about these things, while some have been going about talking about certificates and sending out spurious and blatant lies and half-truths all over the media about what happened in 1983 and trying to rewrite Nigerian history and change Nigerian history that wasn't there. So part of it has been issue-based, part of it has been absolute disgrace to the country, and it has brought Nigeria, even in the international media, to disrepute, to the extent that even the Cambridge archive assessment have kind of put out a publication, because it's been inundated with lots of questions from people in Nigeria trying to find out what happened in 1961, whether this person wrote this exam, and it's been a shame, really, to be honest. I would have expected a lot of issue-based campaigns and debates on the real issues that affect Nigerians, and the real issues of power, the issues of insecurity, or issues of the economy, corruption, and all of that. But then we haven't seen a lot of that, a little bit of it, but it should have been more than what we are seeing today. Like I said, it's been a shame. The campaign has been a disgrace to Nigeria.
All right, Carol, I'll come back to you. Let me go to Adeola. Adeola, you've heard various speakers, and of course, I saw you nodding sometimes in concurrence, and other times probably disagreeing with what some of the speakers said. What exactly can you say? I mean, going by all that you've heard so far.
Well, firstly, I want to talk about the issue of debates. You see, public debate is one thing that I've always advocated for. Firstly, it has to start from the grassroots. We should have our contestants debating each other, telling us how they intend to tackle the problems of our society. But as the case is now, I don't expect them to have it, because they have castigated each other enough, and no party will be willing to face the disgrace on media, on live media, as we are doing. PDP will raise issues that we have known, that have been in the media for like 2 or 3 weeks, against certificates, against Buhari's health and all that. While APC will confront PDP with issue of insecurity. So it's what we have known already. What I just feel is that issue of the debate should be put into the constitution. We should have all our candidates debating. This thing should be legalized. That is one way I feel we can resolve that issue. And again, we like to talk about how do I put it? Electioneering. The way the elections have been done. You see, one speaker said it's actually a disgrace to Nigeria. Yes, I agree with him totally. Because as a Nigerian in diaspora, what I do here for my Russian friends here is, do we even have government in Nigeria? Is it the way things have been done? I feel disgrace, and I don't feel happy about it. But what I just feel is that we, the citizens, we need to get things right ourselves. We can even teach them, if they don't know it, how to do it. That's all for now. Thank you.
Well, Adeola, talking about teaching them how to do it, I don't know about that. But let me just move forward. Sonny, let me come to you. Adeola is talking about teaching the contestants how to go about certain things. Is that in our place to do?
Hello?
Yeah, Sonny, go ahead.
Yeah, can you repeat that question again?
Oh, no. Actually, the question is for Sonny, but it was coming from what you said, that we have to teach the contestants what to do, perhaps maybe debate or other stuff concerning electioneering process.
Okay. You see, okay, you mean how to teach them what to do?
Yeah.
You see, in a normal democracy, the power rests with the citizens. I am not calling for a revolution, but I am calling for the social groups, the prayer groups, to come up and protest. Tell them this is what we want. This is what we want them to do. They know it, but they don't want to do it. But if we keep forcing it on them, if we keep shouting, just look at something like the up subsidy in 2012. If we come out en masse again and say we don't want corruption, we want corrupt officials to be prosecuted, I am sure by the time the whole of Nigeria is occupied, they will be forced to do it. And if they don't do it, of course, we can show them the exit doors to our votes. This, I believe, will change their mind settings. By the time they know we are not fools anymore in this country, by the time they know our vote counts, sometimes I wonder, don't our leaders travel abroad? Don't they? Of course, they come to Europe, they even go to, most of their children are outside Nigeria. And of course, those children will come back during holidays to tell their parents how life is here. And still, the parents don't bother, they don't care. I wonder. I just want to get out of this.
Okay, very well. Then I also encourage the use of the chat box. At times you might have something to say, and someone else might be talking at that point in time. You can just put that down in the chat box. We'll also revisit that and look at all the comments that are there. For now, we have just one comment, and it's by Sonny. He says, "What is issue-based? Is okay. Well, I think he's trying to say that calling one another names is not issue-based, and he adds that I have not seen any of them reading out their manifestos. Speaking of which, Carol, let me come back to you on this. Have you seen any manifesto, and to what extent would you say you are satisfied or not with what you've seen?
I've seen the manifesto. I've looked at the manifesto of the All Progressives Congress, and I think it's something to work with. It's okay. It's not the most fantastic thing you've seen or that we've seen, but it's okay. At least it looks at the basic needs of Nigerians, and like I said, the insecurity number one, the corruption, and then I'm looking at the economy. Obviously, we have to get out of this thing we'll find ourselves in, because the economy needs to come back. The economy needs to be revived. The dwindling oil prices have meant that the our lapses, and it's sort of like opened a new kind of worms that our economy is not really doing great, and we've relied on oil for so long, and we have to diversify and things like that. So I've looked at that manifesto, and the manifesto, to an extent, for starters, it looks at the basic things, and I think it's something that we need to work on, and that can be improved on, and it's okay. But like I said earlier on, lots of things have just been put in, lots of span have been put into the works, that instead of people should be tearing apart these manifestos and looking at their policies and saying, okay, how do you intend to do this? And the debate should really be, you said you're going to do this, how do you want to do this? Can you explain to Nigerians? Can Nigerians be more clearer on how you intend to do this and this and that? But the discourse have been driven away from the manifestos and the real issues, and into whether someone has a certificate or what someone did in 1983. And it's just been a shame, to be honest. One famous TV station recently tried to rewrite the whole internet protocol by releasing IP addresses that do not exist and claiming someone hacked into their poll, which is actually really stupid for them to do. And it's just been a disgrace. They've disgraced themselves. I don't think any well-thinking person will regard such TV station as reliable or as fair, because the media is meant to be fair, or appear to be fair. There has to be fairness in whatever the media does. But this particular media station has just proven that they've taken their main reason of being a media station of the fairness, they've taken it out, and they've been so partisan, and it's so clear for them, which has again thrown this whole campaign into just shambles. Because if the media is outright or blatantly partisan, then that's a major defect in this campaign. So part of it, yes, like I said, the manifesto is okay, but a lot still has to be done. I think we still have 2 weeks before the elections, and before that, again, people can come back and start to discuss the real things, and we still have like 2 weeks to make up for the lost time, and try to debate on the real issues. And like it's been in the media about 2 or 3 days ago now, that General Buhari has decided not to debate on a particular debate hosted by BON, and I think it's fair, and I back him on that 100%, because if the media, like I said, is not fair, and this particular media body that is conducting this debate has shown to be impartial, and there's no reason why he should then stand and say, okay, I accept to debate on this, because if there's no fairness, if there's no equity, then really there is no debate. And if they can organize another body, independent body or whatever, to come and organize a debate, it would be great to see the two leading candidates come out and debate and speak to Nigerians, let Nigerians ask real questions, and again, fairness, there has to be fairness, ask real questions, and let Nigerians actually listen to them and say, okay, what do you want to do? And let them explain themselves to Nigerians on their policies, on their vision for Nigeria.
All right, Carol, we're actually running out of time now, but just in wrapping up this conversation, Sonny, let me come to you. What will be your last word, just in wrapping up on this conversation now?
Last words. I hope Nigerians can focus on the real issues. Again, this election should be that's the beauty about democracy. It gives you a tool to choose an alternative. Whether you choose to go with the incumbent or you go with the person bringing himself as the change, as they call it. It's a tool. So I think Nigerians should then look at the real issues. Are you happy with what Nigeria has been in the last 4 or 5 years? If you're happy with it, then obviously you vote for the incumbent president. And if you're not happy with it, if you think you want something else, you want change, then you vote for the alternative, which is General Buhari. But the real issue is Nigeria should be focused on the issues, because wherever you see in the media is not exactly what's going on. If you're happy with the state of the country, then move forward, then continue. But if you're not happy, then you change. It's just as simple as that. And I hope Nigerians will face these issues and will kind of rely on INEC as well to be fair and make sure that the elections are transparent, because a transparent, credible, and fair election are just recipes for violence-free elections. And if that can be done, I hope Nigeria will be better moving forward. And I just pray that Nigeria, this period is a watershed for Nigeria. If we can get past this and get free fair election, choose whoever we want to, and then we can move on and start building a better Nigeria from onwards.
All right, thank you, Caro. Adela, what would you say in closing?
Lastly, I guess I'm going to advise for the political parties in Nigeria, and the answer is do it the way you can do it. But the citizens of Nigeria will get it right this time. We will vote who we feel can lead us right. Go back to your own drawing boards and do the right thing. You know it, but do it the way it should be done, not the way you want to do it to suit yourselves. Thank you.
All right. Sam, what would be your closing statement?
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
I just put something on the chat box.
Okay.
I have my PVC, and I'm still waiting for someone that will, convince me of why I should vote for him. So I'm hoping that Muhammadu Buhari come up for the debate and tell Nigerians how he intends to change Nigeria. And also, I hope that we hear Jonathan talk as well, so I can make up my mind on who to vote. So I hope at the end we'll have issue-based debates and people can really make up their mind. There's so many Nigerians that don't make up their mind who they will vote for until they hear them debate and answer questions practically. Then we will make up their mind to vote. So I hope that there will be a debate where issues will be trashed out, and we'll now make up our minds. Thank you.
All right, very well. Then actually we're wrapping up, and Larry Lapunle is just coming on board. Larry, if you can hear me, good afternoon. Okay, apparently he can't, so I'll move forward. Sulaiman, what will be your last word?
The February 14 election give a chance to vote for the new government that will usher in new era in Nigeria.
Sulaiman, we can't hear you. Okay, actually he's lost his audio and video as well. Sonny, if you can hear me. All right, if you can unmute your mic from your end, it's proving quite difficult from my side here.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, I want both parties to advise their supporters to stay away from violence because that is not going to take us anywhere. I want every party to advise their supporters to stay away from things that are going to make Nigeria having a process of violence. So they should try to do away with that and try to focus on the things they want to do and tell Nigerians what they want to do. They should stay away from violence. So I wish Nigeria peaceful, free election. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you as well, Suleiman. You've come back, so let's just hear from you. Your last words.
My last word, we have free and fair elections in February. I pray Nigeria should not experience the post-violence experience in 2011, even though there is war threat coming from different directions, especially from the kinsmen of the president, who look like president, not the president of the entire republic. So I chose peaceful.
Oh, sadly, again, we have lost Suleiman, but then, Larry, if you can hear me, good afternoon. Yeah, we can hear you, Larry. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I'm Olari Waju by name. My own is this. The campaign of calumny against individual is a problem in the country, and which we know over well in the polity. You know, the polity is so heated to the extent that people doesn't really understand what we need in the country. And mind you, everything in this country that we are doing has to be based on what is really affecting us directly. And you see, when anything that is affecting us directly matters a lot. And don't forget, our national life has been jeopardized with all these calls for war, the threat up and down, which is not too good for the polity. And you see, the truth of the matter is that none, I say none because from what I look at, the supporter of different political parties, they are engaged in one abuse, one insult or the other, which is not too good for the polity. And you know, anything that we want to do that is not good for the polity, it do not go well. Because February 14 is there for us. It's either to mark the election or to make it. And don't forget, what we are trying to look at is that everything we want to do, we have to ensure that we move forward. And for us to move forward, we have to ensure that we get some things right. And if you get some things right, then we can bring sanity to the system. And what we, as far as I'm concerned, as far as an individual, as well as a concerned Nigeria, what I'm concerned about is that I want a situation where people will look at what a successful government is and what is not. When you're talking about successful government, you're talking about things that affect life of people directly. And I always tell people, as far as I'm concerned, what I need is that we need meaningful life to every Nigerian, irrespective of where they live. Irrespective, be it Hausa, be it Igbo, be it Yoruba, anywhere, meaningful life. Because if we have meaningful life, to God be the glory, everything we are doing will be on the good side. And mind you, I always tell people, and I'll continue to hammer it, suffering does not know any religion we belong to. And it does not know the party we belong to. It does not know the tribe we belong to. Because when people are suffering, they are suffering. And if we continue this way, I don't know. But mine is this. The situation now is that everybody, likewise everyone here, myself, the person anchoring the program, we must preach the issue-based campaign for them. And also we have to tell them, this is an election, not a war. We may have war of words. It's allowed. But the fact still remains that not physical war of going to street, going to these places. We have to use our tongue and we have to use our PVC to do what is right for us as a nation. It's either we'll do that or we should try as much as possible to ensure that we try to caution people who are drumming war. I can remember there was a day somebody was drumming for war. I had to comment on it that please, these people have they have where they can run to. We ordinary citizens in Nigeria, we don't have where to go. We have this nation as ours. And if this nation is ours, we have to ensure that we talk to them. We tell them, this place belongs to every one of us, irrespective of where we are.
All right,
we need a situation where every Nigerian, I always mention it, every Nigerian is a place for us to live, to work, to do everything that is possible for our life. I think that's my submission for now. Then let's continue. Let me give people other people so that they can contribute. Then we'll be able to look at what we can say further.
All right, Olariwaju, thank you very much. But actually, you joined the Hangout very late.
No, you're welcome.
Unfortunately, you're joining very late and we're about closing. Where are you calling from, if just I may ask?
Well, presently, I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay, great. Where in Lagos?
I'm calling from Magodo in Lagos.
Okay, thank you very much. But absolutely, your own submission will be the last we're going to take. But before we close, I would go to the comment box. We had Sam said it has been a heated campaign so far. I hope we will have a free and fair elections. He also added that he agrees absolutely with you. That's Larry, you just finished speaking, and said you hit the nail on the head, and this is the reality on ground. But Adiola, on the other hand, says Larry has said something we all should know. Suffering knows no tribe or religion. So once again, thank you, everyone. Caro, you are calling from London.
It's my pleasure, my brother.
Thank you for joining the Hangout. Adiola, you're calling from Krasnodar in Russia. Thank you for joining. Olariwaju Lakunle, you're calling from Magodo in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for calling. Samuel Bright, you are in Ikeja, Lagos. Thank you for calling. Sonny Kiri is in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Thank you all for joining. I'm Victor Matthias here in Nigeria. But also, before we go, I must also thank those of you who are watching on YouTube. Thank you for keeping us company all through this very, very issue-based hangout, so to speak. I'm Victor Matthias. Thank you for joining me once again. Until I see you.
Have a good student.
Thank you, Mr. Victor.